everyone, and welcome to Compassion Card's 7th anniversary virtual event. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Leslie Plum, and I serve on the board at Compassion Cards. We're so glad you decided to celebrate with us. For those of you who have been with us for the past 7 years, thank you for your continued support. And for those of you who are currently getting familiar with us, we're glad that you're here as well. Through this event, we look forward to reflecting on our 2020 with you, regardless of how daunting it may have been. We have had an incredible team of volunteers who continuously rise to the occasion. To our volunteers, thank you. It's because of people like you we get to reach and build into our communities in such a unique way.
I love Compassion Cards. I love giving positive vibes, especially in this time of need right now. I just love writing notes.
Compassion Cards is everything that we need in our world right now.
When I think of Compassion Cards, I think of community. And when I think about our community, I think about all the goodness that happens in our community.
We really appreciate everything they've done for the community.
And we love knowing that the cards we create are going to someone who might need a smile to brighten up their day, or maybe has been not able to get out as much because of COVID.
It gives people the opportunity to reach out to people that are in need, or elderly people, or educators that could really use that vital push sometimes to help motivate people.
So I love that Compassion Cards has tapped in to the power of pen and paper. Technology is wonderful and it connects us in amazing ways, but I think there's something powerful about holding something in your hands that somebody has taken the time to write by hand, to decorate, to think about what they put on that paper. And I truly love that Compassion Cards gives us the opportunity to serve beside our children. It's one thing to teach our children to serve and to love and to lift and to be supportive, but it's another to be able to sit down with them, beside them, and say, hey, let's do this project together, and be able to do it in a way that can inspire and have a reach that I wouldn't be able to do on my own. And I'm thankful for that.
For our next portion, we will be discussing our financial report from 2020, so please welcome Nathan Abshire.
While this past year has been difficult for so many of us, Compassion Cards has been able to grow through donations and card distribution. Last year, we were able to distribute 73% more cards than we did in 2019, and we became more efficient at it too. While we're a small organization, through monthly donors and one-time givers, we were able to raise $9,001, over $3,300 more dollars than we did in 2019. With this increase in donations, we were able to distribute 18,000 cards to people struggling in one of the most isolating years in modern history. This year, I'm able to share the exciting news that we've brought on a part-time employee as our volunteer coordinator. This job is a big task, coordinating between volunteers, packaging, proofreading, and distributing cards, but Jordy is doing a great job. We want to continue to do big, great things like this, and this allows us to continue to do that. But we would also need your support. We have several ways to donate. One-time donations, both large and small, are the backbone of our organization. Our donors have continually answered the call for funds whenever we needed them. They've allowed us to replenish our card supply when we were running low, or assist us in donations for our food and supply drives. Alternatively, monthly donors provide stability for our organization, letting us plan for the future, knowing we have the funds to execute our goals. We appreciate all of our donors. We couldn't do this without you. And if you haven't donated before, I would love to invite you to join our team and come along with us in this journey. This coming year is packed full of volunteer opportunities that will connect and encourage people who have been struggling for so long. We are excited to keep going on this journey of compassion, and we want to invite you to join us. Thank you so much.
For me, it just helps to give me an outlet to help motivate people that I can't already do on the day-to-day. And it's just an easy way to show someone that you care about them and that you're thinking about them.
And compassion cards really allows me the opportunity to take that empathy that's in my heart and put that into action. By writing down a note of encouragement or jotting a card of positivity or hope and putting it in the hands of fate and allowing this serendipitous moment to land this note into the hands of somebody who needs it the most gives me chills.
I love passing positivity along. I'm so grateful that I find them. I actually love volunteering for them. It's something a passion of mine. I love to make people smile. I love to uplift people.
In a time where things are so uncertain, sometimes a little dark and unpredictable, the message that compassion cards brings, the hope, the joy, the kindness, and the love that it spreads is unmatched.
Every year that I get to do this, I get to reflect on the wonderful human that started it all. Jordy is an encouragement and a friend, and has a vision to better love herself and those around her. So will you please join me in welcoming Jordy D. Fernando, founder of Compassion Cards.
Hi everyone, and thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate 7 years of Compassion Cards. I can hardly believe it's already been 7 entire years since we got our start. Every year I look forward to this event as an opportunity to reflect and to look ahead, both at the things we've done in the past and the things we have planned for the future. Some of you may remember that back in 2019 we had begun to do school programming workshops to bring kindness and empathy into Norfolk Public Schools. In January of 2020, we were so lucky to begin a partnership with the Suffolk Center for Cultural Arts, which allowed us to expand that programming into schools in Suffolk, Smithfield, and Franklin. We miss doing our school programming so much, and we can't wait to get back into it once it's safe to do so again. Like many of you, we had big ideas and plans of all we hoped to accomplish and do together in 2020. And of course, many of those things changed overnight as the pandemic became more serious and things in our area began to shut down. What originally looked like a year of lots of togetherness and community in person, doing lots of fun things and good things together, quickly became a year in which we had to go right back to the drawing board and figure out how to be relevant in the context of a world where we couldn't be together in person anymore. For a little bit there, it felt like Compassion Cards might not have much relevancy in a world where we couldn't be together. And surprisingly, we found that there's a lot more relevancy for Compassion Cards than we thought there would be. Very quickly after things began to shut down, we formed a partnership with an organization local to Hampton Roads called Volunteer Hampton Roads. That organization instantly helped us to be able to send thousands and thousands of handwritten notes of encouragement and empathy to senior citizens in our community who were isolated from their loved ones due to the pandemic.
Hey Jordy, it's Angelica. I'm sending a voice message because I'm driving, but I wanted to tell you before I forgot. I just want to let you know that I stopped by to see one of my clients today. He's 94, he's homebound. He's a sweet man, but he's been very depressed. He says he's ready to die. His wife is gone. It's just very sad. But I wanted to let you know I went in and saw him for a little bit today, and he had one of your cards that we sent with his meals back in April or whenever we sent them out. He had it right in the middle of his fridge, and I asked about it, and he said it brings him hope when he sees it every morning. So I just want to pass that on and thank you for being so wonderful to us and the people we serve.
In addition to helping us send all of the cards to our local senior citizens, VHR also helped us onboard more than 80 volunteers who tirelessly wrote over 13,000 cards in 2020 for this project, which is totally incredible and mind-blowing. We also linked arms with a nonprofit local to Norfolk called Village Family. Village Family works to help folks struggling with food insecurity to meet their needs with clothing and hygiene items as well. We hosted a supply and food drive for them in the fall, just in time for the holidays. And we've also worked with them to provide words of encouragement to those they service each month. Looking back on all the things that 2020 held for us, it's really easy to see all the moments that we grew, but in those moments it didn't feel that way. And I want to take a moment just to acknowledge how heavy this past year has been for all of us. Every single one of us had individual and personal battles, and then on top of that, the collective grief and trauma of going through a once-in-a-lifetime epidemic together has been absolutely complicated. It's hard to even think of a word to describe the way that I feel. I frequently say, and if you're around compassion cards often, you'll frequently hear the phrase, "Your feelings are valid." And I believe that. I'm quick to give everyone permission to feel their feelings except myself. And I think one of the things that I've learned in this year is that we have to give permission to each other and to ourselves to really feel the weight of the things we've experienced in this year. And I don't want the accomplishments that compassion cards had to overshadow how completely awful this year may have been for you, and how completely awful this year may have been for me in some aspects as well. More than anything, I want you to know that when you're a part of compassion cards, you're a part of our heart, and we deeply care about the things that impact you. We care about the ways that you have been hurt in this past year, and we care about the ways in which we can help you find your worth and your love again. I often say that compassion cards is the one place in the world that I can always find hope when I'm looking for it. And even this year, when I expected to find hope nowhere because of all of the very heavy things going on around me, I still found hope in compassion cards, and that's because of every single one of you, our volunteers, our donors, our friends at other organizations, our family members, the people who have kept us grounded to this work have made all the difference. And so I really do truly thank you for giving us your authentic selves, because it's in that authenticity, not being afraid to show up in your fear and your disappointment, that made these cards filled with empathy make such a difference to the recipients. One of my favorite parts about this event every year is the opportunity I have to share with you about the things we've planned for the year to come. At the top of that list, and our biggest goal yet, is to send 20,000 cards in 2021. These 20,000 cards will be sent to the people who are holding our communities together: educators, medical workers, post office employees, pharmacy workers, gas station attendants, grocery store clerks, and very near to my own heart, family caregivers who are doing the hard work and selfless work of staying home with a loved one who can no longer care for themselves. In addition to that, we plan to have 2 projects going on through the entire year. First, we plan to continue sending cards to our elderly friends in the region through our partnership with Volunteer Hampton Roads. Second, we plan to send monthly batches of cards to our friends at Village Family, who will continue distributing them to their clients each month. I know I've laid out a lot of plans for 2021, and I'm still not done yet. As an organization that runs on so much paper every year, we try really hard to consciously make decisions about the products we use, trying to choose things that have been sustainably sourced, as well as things that we can recycle when we no longer need them. Part of our efforts to increase our sustainability effort includes a new partnership with an organization in Virginia Beach called Planting Shade. Through Planting Shade, Compassion Cards will take part in planting trees in our region and around the world to help create a better infrastructure for our planet. To date, Compassion Cards has donated 1,000 loblolly pine trees to Planting Shade, and we can't wait to do more. While our operations in 2021 will primarily be virtual, there will be lots of opportunities for you to become involved. I encourage you to follow us on social media. Our handle on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook is @CompassionCards, and you can also find us online at compassioncards.org. Keeping up to date with any of these pages will give you the opportunity to see what we've got going on, who we're sending cards to at any specific time, and how you can become involved. Before I go, there's just a few more things I want to say. First, to all of our volunteers and donors, thank you so much. Without your selfless contributions of time and money, Compassion Cards simply would not be what it is today. To the board of directors of Compassion Cards, I am filled with gratitude toward each of you for all you've done to help craft and cultivate this organization beyond my wildest dreams. This is not just mine, it is ours, and I am so grateful. To all the people who have served on the board in the past, I'm grateful for the significant contributions you made to pave the way for Compassion Cards to be where it is now. We couldn't have done it without you. And to my parents, who have constantly been a source of support for Compassion Cards since the very beginning around their kitchen table, I am so lucky to have your support in this, in whatever ways you can, as time changes things. I'm so grateful for that. And finally, to all of you who are here watching with us right now, thank you for being here, for being part of our community, and for celebrating 7 years with us. I love you all so much.
Before we close, we want to say thank you. Thank you to our volunteers, as you encourage us as we encourage others, to our donors, whose support allows us to do so much more, and to everyone watching, thank you for being with us today as we look forward to the future for whatever 2021 has in store.